Welcome, wrestling fans. Welcome to Curtain Jerkin. As always, I'm your host, Jacob Grondy, reporting for Main Event Mark's YouTube channel and the Dragon Suplex Podcasting Network. What a weekend in pro wrestling. We had Survivor Series. We had LeBron James going heel last night against the Pistons. We're going to get into that, but I'm really excited about next weekend. Of course, it's going to be Thanksgiving on Thursday, Black Friday on Friday. I do have to work a lot, but one of the biggest wrestling conventions in the whole world is going to take place in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, a little bit down the road from the live SmackDown that's going to be happening in Greensboro, North Carolina. And like I said, I do have to work a lot, but I also am going to be attending some of these shows. I'm going to be going to the Wrestlecade Super Show featuring Buddy Murphy versus Aleister Black, or Buddy Matthews versus Malachi Black, whatever. You know it's going to be good. I think the NWA title is going to be on the line. I think it's going to be the Bollywood Boys versus the Rock and Roll Express. I'm going to be getting to that show a little late, but hopefully I can catch all those matches. Definitely excited for the main event. And then I'm also going to be seeing Jeff Hardy acoustic performance after the SmackDown tapings at the Corner Bar, a bar that I go to a lot, one of my frequent haunts when I lived in Greensboro. And it is on the corner. It is a bar. It's called the Corner Bar. Jeff Hardy will be playing there. He does it almost every time WWE comes to the Greensboro Coliseum. He plays over there. But I've never gone, and I'm pretty excited about going. I always find it pretty interesting when he's like world famous at something else, one art form. And here he is, can't help himself but try his best and push the other art form in conjunction with his bread and butter. It's really cool. But let's dive into what we saw from the week of pro wrestling. We got AEW to talk about. We got New Japan. We got Noah. We got AAA. We got WWE. And we even have the NBA to talk about. LeBron going heel against the Pistons. He's already on the oldest super team in NBA history. He's already known for flopping. And here he goes entering in the Pistons, arena. The fans work snug in Detroit. Busts the guy open, boom, gets ejected. And then the guy freaks out, This is like whenever, Flair double-cross somebody, and whenever there's a fair fight, Flair backs down. But when people are pulling him back, Flair's taking off his blazer, Flair's kicking the bottom rope. You already kind of know what's going on here. LeBron James went full heel here, went full Ric Flair here. I thought this was hilarious in his old age going full heel. Isaiah, the guy from the Pistons, will he be babyface? We'll have to see come playoffs. The East is wide open, but goddamn, did I love this brawl in the NBA. As we saw on Dynamite, it's really easy to get a veteran over as a heel if the babyface is in their hometown crowd. Isaiah, obviously not as big of a star as LeBron, but it was his hometown. He was a Pistons guy fighting for the Pistons' love, just like Hangman Page, Virginia guy, not as big of a star as Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan just had to do a little bit, and he got a big heel reaction. I love that pop when he acted like he was calm, and then he turned around to fight LeBron again. That huge babyface pop Isaiah got, that was fucking awesome. Crimson Mask, nonetheless, by LeBron's elbow. That was probably some bad PR for the NBA, but some good PR was Roman Reigns on Jimmy Fallon. We find out Roman is a Christmas music fan. Says his sisters were kind of ribbing him. He mentioned some wrestling terminology when talking to Jimmy, which I thought that was kind of cool. I popped, and then kind of follows up with, they asked him about The Rock. They mentioned that it's 25 years later. Of course, there was the big tease of The Rock's involvement at Survivor Series being the 25th anniversary of The Rock. Did we get it? Hell no. I said on Twitter, when it's a zombie movie that sponsors a WWE show, we get zombies. When it's The Rock's movie sponsoring a WWE show, we don't get The Rock. This is something that I'm upset about. It was kind of interesting, though, to see Roman Reigns on Jimmy Fallon, rubbing shoulders with, some big names on that show and everything. But then to the juxtaposition was all the WWE releases. 8 more people got released from WWE this week, including Hit Row. Top Dollar was apparently outspoken, and I think that's what led to all of them getting let go, because I think they really only wanted to push Top Dollar, but they wanted to bring him up in a group, kind of give Top Dollar that no doubt Gwen Stefani effect. But nevertheless, they're all gone. What should Swerve, Scott, Adonis, and Hit Row all do? Well, now they can join up together, and I would sit back and use these 90 days to make an album. Maybe get like some features like Wale or Enzo or Max Caster or even Snoop Dogg. See what you can do out there, and then hit WrestleMania weekend super hard. Headlining maybe a GCW for the Culture event, maybe even opening Wale Mania. They can do a lot here with this, rap group / wrestling faction, I think, especially in 2022, which is what they should be looking forward. I would sit back and, enjoy the holidays with my family, but then 2022 should be Hit Row's year, hitting all the conventions, starting with WrestleMania weekend. John Morrison also got released. Of course, we're going to be talking a little bit more about AAA and Kenny Omega and everything like that a little bit later. But that's what I think John Morrison should do. He should go to AAA. I mean, John Morrison versus Kenny Omega, that's a little bit of a dream match that they can give us. And I think that those two guys are super over in the Mexican market. So let Kenny Omega lick his wounds a little bit and give us a big marquee match for Triple Mania in the summertime. Tegan Knox, I think she should go to Women of Wrestling. She could be the perfect foil for Tessa Blanchard. You got kind of had the good Tessa Blanchard versus the Tessa Blanchard on Women of Wrestling now. That's what I would do. Jackson Riker, I don't know where he should go, but every time I see Jackson Riker, I think about when he was wrestling for PWX and Indy in Charlotte area, but they were in Winston-Salem for this tournament show. Ricochet, Cameron Grimes, Cedric Alexander were all involved in this tournament, and there was a faction which featured John Skyler, Corey Hollis. They both wrestled on NXT, Impact, AEW, and Hangman Page was also in this faction with Jackson Riker. A fan was pissed and ended up, I think he was mimicking jumping in the ring just to, I guess he thought he was part of the show or something, and he became part of the show because Jackson Riker booted him 300 style in the chest, sending him into the front row, which used to have his sons, and when he landed on the front row, he realized that his sons were missing because he would have fallen on them otherwise. Caleb Conley of Impact fame ended up hunting down the son, the kid, in downtown Winston-Salem, pulled him back, and he reunited with his dad, and it was a crazy moment. Outshined all the wrestling from the tournament was this faction and this fans' involvement with the building of this faction. I thought it was hilarious to this day. That's every time I see Jackson Riker, that's what I think about. So I don't know what he's going to do, but hopefully he doesn't go kicking any more fans. Maybe he, I don't know. Who the hell does know? Maybe Jackson Riker doesn't even know. Shane Thorne, no brainer, go to New Japan. Even kind of reform that faction he had with Jonah Rock and his old partner. They can get that going again. I think Suzuki Gun might need a little boost shot in the arm, or maybe they can just be their own thing over there. But I think Shane Thorne going to New Japan would be great. Drake Maverick, I want to see him get a job backstage, maybe for Impact. Maybe he could be like, for all the Impact superstars, he could be the angel on the shoulder, and Jimmy Jacobs can be the devil on the shoulder. Maybe they'll be a good team. I could even see that being a good feud in front of the camera as well as a partnership behind the scenes. Who knows? The world is Drake Maverick's oyster. He is incredibly talented, and I feel like he didn't really get to spread his wings a lot on the come up or even in WWE. So those guys will not be competing for WWE in the near future, but people that did compete in the WWE in the recent past was everyone on Survivor Series. You gotta love that segue. The Rock's new movie video package was kind of cool, added to the spectacle at first, and I mean, who knows what's going to happen over under on Ryan Reynolds at WrestleMania this year, right? Because we damn sure didn't get The Rock at Survivor Series. Kicking off with Charlotte and Becky, I thought that was good. I would have waited for the main event. It was the best match on the show. I'll just say that right now before we even dive into worst to first. The green shirt guy, not only was he at AEW Full Gear, but he was also at Survivor Series. Cool to see that. The real forbidden door being crossed there by the green shirt man. That's always at the front row. Becky said dirt sheets. I popped. They showed another thing involving The Rock, his 25th anniversary, beating Jerry Lawler and Goldust, his first night in front of the camera for the WWE. NXT War Games hype video. I got fucking hyped. We got all kinds of commercials here. DraftKings, cell phones, all kinds of stuff. And then Vince McMahon shows up with some kind of golden football, this golden egg. I could not make heads or tails. I felt like I missed something. I don't watch week to week, but I still felt like I missed something. We got more Rock highlights. Roman wanted to talk to Vince. They ended up talking about this egg. Apparently, The Rock gave Vince this egg. I had no clue what they were talking about. It was Cleopatra's egg. And then it all made sense because they're talking about The Rock's movie. So it's sponsored by The Rock's movie. It's the 25th anniversary of The Rock in the same place that The Rock appeared 25 years ago. They're bringing him up in storyline. Did we get The Rock? Fuck, no, we didn't get The Rock. We got 2 McCulkin members, but not Macaulay Culkin. That's like having the Usos show up without Roman Reigns at this point. We want our Macaulay. We want all the Macaulay, none of the other McCulkins. God damn it. So much Rock. Was there too much Rock? There wasn't enough Rock. Xia Li vignettes I thought were cool. I thought they were way cooler with this anime style than this like kind of demon style they were doing in NXT. So bring her up to SmackDown. Hopefully they delay it a long, long time because I like these vignettes. People say that wrestling is like redneck anime. Well, this was like anime in the redneck anime, and I thought it was pretty cool. Survivor Series, it was a good show overall. I enjoyed it. I don't get too much WWE, so whenever I do get to watch these shows, it feels special. I mean, Survivor Series, it's a special thing. It's one of the big 4, and that still matters to me. But breaking down all the matches from worst to first, we have to kick things off with the Rock O Rumble brought to you by Pizza Hut. You want names? We'll give you names. Will we give you The Rock? No, but we'll give you Shelton Benjamin, the Dirty Dogs, the big guy that always shows up with Apollo Crews, R-Truth, Gable and Otis, AJ and Omos, Cedric Alexander, the Street Profits, T-Bar, and even Apollo Crews himself. That's only on Raw. We also had the SmackDown talent with Sami Zayn, Mansoor, Drew Gulak, Jinder Mahal, and Shanky, the Viking Raiders, Carrillo and Garza, Ricochet getting his own entrance, Cesaro. They said it was 25 men. I didn't really count 25 men there, but who the hell knows? Gulak, Shelton, and Humberto all eliminated right away. They're just making a mockery of my favorites here. R-Truth goes and gets a slice of pizza to try to give it to Almost because this was sponsored by Pizza Hut. They had pizza all around. Almost not interested in it. Otis very interested in it. Eats it, loves it. But then R-Truth slaps Otis in the ass, which pisses him off, so he eliminates R-Truth. But then Almost eliminates Otis. And Cesaro throws out Gable. Almost pretty much throws out everybody, including Shanky, which was like, the big man hoss fight of the Battle Royal, which is pretty cool. Almost eliminates Aziz, which is another kind of big hoss fight. So we're seeing, out of the 3 giants, Almost is the best giant. That's kind of what they're solidifying here. And not only is Almost the best giant, but he is the best guy overall. He just eliminates them all one by one. And that's kind of just really what this was even there for, was just to promote Almost. It was entertaining. It was a battle royal for The Rock, who wasn't there, but Pizza Hut was definitely there. The Street Profits end up throwing out pizza to all the fans, which I thought was good. And I put it last because I really didn't want to put Nakamura Priest last. I thought that there was some good stuff here. I really do like one-on-one contests more than just a hodgepodge of anybody with Almost winning. But that's about it. I guess it's a technicality. It's not last. Boogs kept interrupting the match, aggravating Priest, and that it made Priest break the guitar that Boogs was using to interrupt the match, and then hitting Nakamura with it, getting disqualified. But the meat of the match was pretty good. Lots of near falls, and these are guys who are both 10 years plus. One making his name in Puerto Rico, and of course Nakamura making his name in Japan before he came over here and got all the accolades he's got in NXT and WWE. So I'm surprised that they kicked the whole show off with this. I would have done the Battle Royal first, but that's me. That's not them. But number 5 though, the men's Survivor Series match, number 5 out of 7 from worst to first, we had Lashley, Rollins, Theory, Finn, and Kevin Owens representing Team Raw, and we had Hardy, Sheamus, Happy Corbin with Riddick Moss, and Drew McIntyre representing SmackDown. This was okay. Kevin Owens and Rollins bickering at the beginning. Kevin Owens purposely gets eliminated. I thought that was kind of a dud. Coup de grace from Finn, 1, 2, 3. Happy Corbin is gone. Hurt Lock by Lashley. Kingswood is gone. I forgot to mention Kingswood, but he was on the SmackDown team. He gets, put to sleep. Sheamus clotheslines Finn in midair only. Catches Finn in midair. Sorry, guys. This was a pretty cool spot. Sheamus catches Finn in midair only for Rollins to hit another dive, knocking all of them down. Lashley and McIntyre go at it. No love lost there. Bro kick from Sheamus. 1, 2, 3. Finn is gone. Hardy and Sheamus working well together. Wasn't there like a car crash or something? I don't know. I guess it's water under the bridge for them, so maybe I shouldn't think about it either. It would probably just hurt my head. Handful of tights. Theory eliminates Sheamus, 1, 2, 3. Sheamus attacks Theory and Hardy. I guess there was no love lost there after working together. Swanton, 1, 2, 3. Theory is eliminated. Seth versus Jeff. And then Seth just gets the win for Team Raw. We already kind of knew Seth Rollins was the most over guy in the ring. This is kind of a dud of a Survivor Series. You only get 2 of these a year to do, the men's and the women's, and I feel like the men's was kind of an afterthought after some of these good wrestling matches. RK Bro versus the Usos. A shitty spectacle is not as good as a good match with a good finish. And that's what RK Bro versus Usos had. So that's why it sits right in the middle of the pack, number 4 out of 7. The Women's Survivor Series match, the third best match on the show, was pretty good. We had Team Raw, Bianca, Liv Morgan, Carmella, Zelina Vega, and Rhea versus the SmackDown team, Natty, Toni Storm, Sasha, Shotzi, Blackheart, and Baszler. Carmella doing the mask gimmick here, getting rolled up by Toni Storm. She gets eliminated. Sasha and Shotzi are bickering. You love seeing that. Tornado DDT from Sasha. 1, 2. The pin was breaking up by Ripley. Double team move to eliminate Zelina Vega was pretty cool. Liv Morgan eliminates Toni Storm. There's overall the meat of this match was pretty good and not a lot of count outs. Only one big count out, which was Sasha Banks getting eliminated via count out because her own team was backing her down. She was such a shithead that her team didn't want to work with her anymore, which is setting up Shotzi versus Sasha, which I thought was pretty good. They did a lot better job of setting up a lot more stuff with that count out than they did the 3 count outs that happened on the men's Survivor Series match. Natty rolled up. Baszler eliminated. Shotzi eliminated. 1, 2, 3. Bianca Belair beats all 3 of those women to win for Team Raw. So much like the Battle Royal, just there to set up almost. We have another big Belair victory, which is good. She had a giant victory at WrestleMania, which we all know about. She was brought down to earth on SummerSlam, and here they're bringing her back up for Survivor Series. Hopefully this means we get a Becky versus Belair rematch at WrestleMania. I feel like that would be a big marquee match, and I feel like they're kind of setting that up pretty well. Another match that they set up kind of okay. They could have done a little more with it. I feel like this peaked kind of a few weeks ago when Big E first held the championship, and they did a 6-man tag on Raw in Raleigh, North Carolina, which I attended. I feel like this feud peaked then, and it was kind of an afterthought at the end of this show because I feel like a lot of people like Becky versus Charlotte better, which I did. This firmly sits at number 2. It wasn't even close. And I feel like the crowd was knocked out of it. The pace slowly picks up as Roman gains more and more control. Samoan drop, 1-2, no Big E kicks out. Roman getting kind of frustrated here with Big E. The power of Roman meets the heart of Big E in this match. Deadlift powerbomb, one arm by Roman Reigns, 1-2. Big E kicks out again. Superman punch. Big E kind of hulks up. Another Superman punch. Big E won't quit. He hulks up again. Third time Superman punch. Big E spears him to the floor. Roman spears Big E in the ring. 1-2. Big E kicks out again. And then catches him in a guillotine. Big E powers out. Hits Roman with the big ending. 1-2. Roman kicks out. Another spear. 1-2-3. Roman gets the victory. Roman's hardest test to date was Big E, but The Rock didn't come out, so that's an overall disappointment. And we kind of already knew the pecking order. Roman Reigns is on top. So unless you're going to fuck with that pecking order by giving us The Rock, which is what we all thought was going to happen, you could have had The Rock come out in New York City, challenge him to WrestleMania, and then it's all set up there. Hopefully they do something on this big day one show that's happening on January 1st, because there really wasn't much storyline involvement. It feels like they kind of had to do this show, which is what they did. And the only real match that I cared about, which ended up being the best match bell to bell, was Becky versus Charlotte. But that's only because I cared about what happened kind of behind the scenes as well as in front of the camera. So the writers really didn't do that good of a job kind of solidifying the importance of this show. And it showed throughout the show. And it was a pretty long show, especially compared to some of these pay-per-views that we got during the pandemic Thunderdome era. But speaking of number fucking 1, Charlotte versus Becky, right off the bat, it was awesome. Bitch slap battle as the pace picked up. Becky not giving up. Charlotte getting frustrated here, much like the Big E Roman match. Charlotte hits a Bexploder. Becky's move says, talk your shit now. Charlotte's talking her shit about Becky talking shit. They do the Ibushi moonsault where the opponent looks like they're about to roll out of their way as the person doing the moonsault off the top rope land on their feet only to hit a standing moonsault. I thought that was pretty good. Love seeing Charlotte do some shit that Ibushi can do. Becky working snug. 1-2. Charlotte kicks out. This is awesome. Chants from the crowd. Big boot. 1-2. Becky kicks out. 1-2. Charlotte kicks out again. Charlotte getting pissed. Charlotte hits another moonsault to the floor, completely missing Becky. They got to bring it up on commentary, and they did. Becky, though, rolls her up. 1-2-3. She steals one. Ref kind of didn't see Becky use the ropes. It was a good match throughout. I guess they didn't want to have Charlotte lose cleanish, and they didn't want to have Becky lose because they wanted her to win. So that's why we got the ending we got. But I still think it was the best match on the show. Overall forgettable show, but I enjoyed watching it. It was kind of like cotton candy. It wasn't like meat and potatoes. Of course, you enjoy the colors, the bright lights, the spectacle of it all, just like cotton candy, but it's not going to fill you up with what you need. I find myself wanting some New Japan, wanting some AAA, wanting some AEW after watching Survivor Series, which you would want me to want more WWE, especially going to Raw tonight. But what can you say about the WWE recently? They kind of seem to be more focused on doing other things, possibly selling the company rather than having good storylines for us. Hopefully this changes because we are going in to the road to WrestleMania in a few weeks. But going into AAA, there's a Triple Mania Regia, I don't know what it means, but it's pretty much like a big show. Kenny Omega versus Vikingo was going to be the main event, but Kenny Omega cutting a selfie promo saying that he has to give up the AAA Mega title. It's kind of doing this paranoid heel thing, saying that AAA didn't ask them if they would postpone the match or anything like that. So he's pissed. Vikingo is going to announce that he will face another opponent that we will bring up next episode because we're going to be running down that whole card next episode. It's going to be for the mega title, Triple Mania. Very smart of them to continue to play into that brand and that name. We see with Wrestle Kingdom doing 3 shows. We see with WrestleMania being 2 nights, and then them calling Backlash WrestleMania Backlash. So, just you got that big brand, you got that marquee event. Spread it out as thin as possible. It seems to work, much like New Japan is doing with Wrestle Kingdom. Just like I said, it's going to be the first time it's going to be 3 nights. Wrestle Kingdom on the 3rd night will be Noah versus New Japan. Why do they call it Wrestle Kingdom for 3 nights after they're already doing 2 nights, like 4 days after or before these matches? Who the hell knows? Who the hell cares? This is awesome. This is something big that you don't have to depend on a lot of international talent for. So in setting up the big, marquee event of the year, Wrestle Kingdom, you didn't really know if you were going to be able to utilize some international talent. So having the biggest thing you can do with Noah versus New Japan is awesome. I mean, I've been a fan of Noah the past few months. I've been a fan of New Japan for years now. So I want to see these matches. This is definitely going to be pretty cool. And having 2 nights of, solely New Japan wrestling is going to be awesome. And then hopefully they do something to set up these big matches going in to Noah versus New Japan. I'm fucking stoked. I was stoked to watch a lot of AEW this week. I'm going to give you my Dynamite and Rampage matches from worst to first real quick at the end here, because I do feel like I talked a lot about a lot of stuff. But Jade versus Red Velvet's number 8 out of 8. Danielson and Evil Uno is number 7 out of 8. I felt like the Danielson Hangman Page promo outshined the match, and I'm looking forward to Danielson beating all the Dark Order members in their hometowns, but Evil Uno, this wasn't his hometown. You kind of had to knock him out first. That's why it sits at number 7. Number 6, Jurassic Express versus Undisputed Era. I don't know what it is. I'm really not feeling Adam Cole and AEW so much. Maybe he's getting outshined by Danielson and Punk. And I'm really not too big of a fan of Jurassic Express as a tag team. I do like Jungle Boy, however. Number 5 out of 8, Dante Martin and Leo Rush versus The Acclaim. That was a good match. Number 4, Darby versus Billy Gunn. That was a really fun match. 3, Sheeta and Nyla. Nyla, I mean, I always get bored, but then she can pull out some great matches, especially with Hikaru Shida. Number 2, Ishii and Orange Cassidy versus Butcher and Blade. A very fun match. And anything I've noticed that Blade kind of has his hand in, all has good finishes and a good ending. So I don't know if he has backstage involvement. I know he's an in-ring veteran, but I wouldn't be surprised if he helps with the booking of his own matches, because they're always good and they always are fun to watch. Number 1, Guevara versus Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal, debuting in AEW, didn't disappoint. Took Guevara to school for a little bit, but Guevara did overcome the odds and retain the TNT Championship. Hope you guys retained a little bit of information that I said, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. I appreciate you guys listening. I'm recording on a different microphone this week, so we'll see how this sounds. But until next time, guys, fly high. I'm out.